Parenting tip number 42 has to do with not praising your kids for being smart, but for praising how hard they work. And I found this study very interesting. It's a Stanford study, and the research was called growth mindset. So listen to these statistics. Parents who praise their kids as being smart actually had their math test exam scores drop from 58% down to 53%. But the parents who praise their kids for just trying really hard and doing their best, their test scores increased from 58% to 75%. And what does this all mean? It means that when you praise your child for being smart, they don't really internalize it and they only see value in themselves if they get a high grade because they see that grade as evidence of their intelligence. So I used to see a lot of children who feel like they're not loved, right? Because they didn't get the right score, especially the kids who are pressured to get A's, really don't feel that they're worthy or that they're intelligent, all because of their scores. And when I tell them to just really focus on their effort, they tell me, but Miss Karen, you don't understand. My parents expect A's. And if I don't get like at least a 90, my phone gets taken away. Some kids need to get at least a B. And I get it. You know, you want your kids to get decent grades, but at the expense of their self-esteem being ripped apart or them feeling that they don't deserve your love. I had one child who say, "My mom loves me. I have my Instagram privileges back." Oh, my mom doesn't love me. I got my Instagram privileges revoked. And then when the phone is taken away, that's even worse because their phone is like a limb, right? It's actually one of their body parts that they just cannot be away from. So, my advice to you, and I'm sure I'm going to ruffle a lot of feathers because a lot of parents want to see high grades. But as we've learned, and it was really hard for me because I'm all about academics. And once my daughter, Chelsea, my youngest, started throwing up, having panic attacks, anxiety, to the point where she was paralyzed and didn't do any work at all for fourth quarter in geometry. I will never forget it. And I hired a tutor. She caught up some and she passed the class. I mean, at the end of the four quarters, but she did see a D and I think an actual F. But this child actually graduated with honors. But then I realized at that point, when she got her diploma, all of that worrying, all of that, anxiety that I felt that, oh my gosh, she needs to get the grade. Oh my gosh, is she going to even be promoted to the next grade? And is she going to graduate with a 1.5 GPA? It really doesn't matter. And when I saw my dad's report card, I don't know if any of you follow me on Facebook. I saw my dad's senior year report card full of D's and F's. The A he got was in art and I think shop. But my dad was received many awards in the Air Force. He received a lot of awards as a machinist at Pearl Harbor, and that's when it clicked. Although my dad made academics a priority in his eyes and made me really feel that academics made me worthy, I think the mistake he made was making me feel that academics was everything. When I had my first heartbreak, he's like, you know what? You're going to have your heart broken again and again and again. I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. But his whole point was, you will always have room, time for a social life, but your academics is top priority all the time, which added a lot of stress. So, my parenting tip to you is really just change maybe the way that you think about grades and that you think about praising. Because when you praise your child for being smart, you're putting a lot of pressure. I mean, they are proud of themselves for being smart, but guess what? When they don't get the grade, their little world will crumble. You guys are gonna laugh, but when I went to UH, I went from In high school, I was, getting A's and getting my honor roll. And then when I went to UH, I got a C on my first English assignment, English 100, my first assignment. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm incompetent. I guess I don't know how to write. I guess I'm not smart. And I don't know if I can even survive college if I can't get a decent grade on an English 100 first assignment. And when I look back, I mean, I cried. And that's what you prepare your children to do when you praise them for being smart. So, parenting tip number 42, really understand the value of how you praise your child. Praise them for working really hard. Praise them even though they get a bad grade. If they worked hard, because this is what happens. Just try your best. It doesn't matter what grade you get. And then when you get to see that D or an F, you question yourself, right? Or you question your child, did you really study hard? Because this is a D, this is an F. And let me tell you, some of these kids, I work with these kids and we study really, really hard. And sometimes these teachers ask questions that were not on the study guide. They ask questions and the child just goes blank. And it's because of the pressure of needing to be smart so they can hear their parents say, you are just so smart. So that's parenting tip number 42. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think because it is very different from the way that a lot of us perceive grades and a lot of us perceive, how we give praise. And that's it for parenting tip number 42. And you notice it is not parenting tips to empower your children for distance learning success. It's parenting tips to empower your child to be successful in the classroom, outside the classroom, just in life. Because this game of life is crazy. Who would have thought we'd be in this wearing mask, crazy pandemic, right? None of us would have predicted what we're going through. So, hope you enjoyed this parenting tip. Thanks for watching. Bye.